Hey guys, it's Jasmine with Manifest Fast with Jasmine, but you can call me Dr. Cupcake because what I know, they don't teach in school. And on that note, get your pens and papers out, take notes during this video. Class is now in session. So in this video, we're going to be talking about why your manifestation didn't work, or why you think that it didn't work, why you're feeling like it didn't work, or why you're getting no results. This is a troubleshooting video, and it doesn't matter if you are manifesting a person or anything else. On this channel, I know that you guys really like to talk about specific persons, so we do that a lot. We use love as an example because love is a very good example of how to manifest. It's something that you really care about, and so that's a good place to start. But what you need to understand is if you know how to manifest, then you're going to be able to apply that to anything. If you know how to quantum leap, if you know how to shift your identity, if you know how to shift timelines, then you're going to be able to apply that to anything in your life, including specific person, including money. Circumstances do not matter. It doesn't matter what happened before. It doesn't matter what anybody said. It doesn't matter what is happening now. It doesn't even matter the condition that you're in or what you are thinking or what you are feeling. This is the magic of manifesting, that literally you can change things right now. You can change them fast, okay? Granted that you believe that, okay? So are you coming to this video in a receptive mode? Because if you want to learn how to troubleshoot manifesting or how to manifest at all, please do not watch videos or watch this video in order to get to the end because you're just trying to get the information because you just want to get it so bad. And like that's how we approach learning a lot of times. Is you're not being present, you're not being relaxed, and you're not receptive. So right there, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot if you are doing that. So begin by relaxing, prepare to be present with the content. A lot of times you don't need necessarily more information. You need to be present enough to be receptive and apply what you are being presented with in the moment, okay? Because if you're not doing that, it doesn't matter if you read 1,000 books. It doesn't matter if you take 1,000 courses. And if you know everything under the sun, you're not applying anything if you're not able to be receptive and completely present with the information, okay? Being receptive and present with the information is what allows you to apply and implement, because this is how you actually shift your vibration. Instead of keeping everything locked up inside your egoic mental prison, you'll actually be able to engage with it in a way that creates a vibrational shift when you relax, okay? So that's one. Now, this is an interesting thing. So I got a comment the other day on my YouTube, and I was talking about this in the video that I created yesterday, which was a pretty good video. It was like a master class on quantum leaping and timeline shifting and all of that. So check that out if you like. But I got a comment from someone who said that they were trying for 6 months. They did affirmations, visualizations. They did everything. They applied themselves for 6 months, and they got no results. And here is the thing that you need to know about this. When you are actually manifesting something, someone, your specific person, whatever it is, when you're doing it correctly, your mindset will be reflective of that. Your feeling and your story and your thought process will be reflective of your correct mindset for manifesting what you want, which means you'll be living from your end. You'll be thinking from your end. That means you're living and feeling and thinking as if the thing is already done, as if you've already got it. So if you are doing everything under the sun, but you are still feeling and thinking that it's not done, you're looking for evidence, you're feeling like, what more do I need to do to make this happen, right? That's not living from the end. So if you never occupied the space of living from the end and thinking from the end and being convinced that it's done and living and really feeling that way, then you have not done what you set out to do. You have not actually applied the processes correctly. And this is a really interesting thing because how, first of all, it seems like a very subtle shift, but if you just are aware of this and and understand, thinking about what you want versus being convinced that you have it, feeling as though there's nothing else to do because it's already done, feeling confident no matter what pops up, and not thinking in terms of the situation over and over in your head, right? What happened, which has an impact on what are you gonna get it, are you not? Here's one thing that I always ask myself. First of all, you got to catch yourself in the act. Okay, you have to catch yourself in the act when you're thinking in a way that is not conducive to actually living from your end, that's not conducive to actually manifesting what you want. So here's the test right here. Is you ask yourself, if I already had what I wanted, would I be thinking this thought? Would I be feeling this way? So, you know, continual reinforcement is really, really important because, how do you get to that place of being able to feel what you want, feel from your end, live from your end, think from your end? How do you get to that place to begin with? How do you become the version of yourself in action who really is the version of yourself who already has what you want, who thinks that way, who feels that way, who knows that way? And the answer is something that I've been talking about for a long time. I call it continual reinforcement. So basically, the version of you who has what you want is in a different atmosphere, is surrounded by a different set of influences that supports their goals, is behaving in a way that you're kind of just living your life and following your joy because that's representative of you having nothing to worry about. That's representative of you not having to stop and think because you already have what you want and therefore you can just flow along in your life and enjoy it. Enjoy your life. There's nothing to stop and think about. It's already done. There's nothing to do. So if you're doing meditating, visualization, affirmations, and you're doing it because you're trying so hard to make this thing happen and you're feeling bad because you keep noticing that it's not happening or it's not there, and that's the reason why you do those practices, that there's a very good chance that you're going to get opposite results. So if you're feeling bad and that's why you're doing it, you're going to get opposite results. Unless if you completely are able to abandon the previous identity who does not have it and go completely into whatever process that you're doing, forgetting about anything and everything else, forgetting about the past, forgetting about what happened, forgetting about the situation entirely. And you allow yourself to completely go 100% into your end, into the feeling, into the wish fulfilled without bringing anything into it. You're just completely in the moment, enjoying that space. That is how you're supposed to do the process. Now, you can also sabotage your efforts if you come out of the process. Let's say that you do the process, like I've heard people say, "Oh, I do the meditation and I completely feel really good when I do it," or "I do the process and I feel completely good when I do it." But then when I come out, I notice that I don't really feel different or shifted or changed. And so most of the time, I'm ending up feeling like essentially the old version of myself who doesn't have it, as opposed to the new version of myself that has it. So you have to use processes in order to help yourself normalize the feelings and the thought patterns and the version of yourself that you want to create. So, segmenting manifestational processes like practicing affirmations in a segmented form, like you're sitting down and you're scripting or you're affirming, or you're doing meditation for a block of time, a segment of time, like 20 minutes or whatever it is. Those segments are really helpful to help you get to a high, vibrational state, a pure vibrational state. And then you come out of it, and that's supposed to carry over a little bit. But what can happen and what you don't want to happen is that you come out of the segmented process and then you go right back to the crappy feeling place that you were in before. Okay? So maybe in the beginning that might happen a little bit. It's hard to kind of like maintain it, but this is where continual reinforcement comes in. And you have to understand that it's one step at a time and keep taking a step forward. Like keep putting one foot in front of the other. But you have to allow yourself to actually raise your awareness enough to actually create changes in yourself. You're not actually focusing on changing the outside reality. Your focus needs to be to change your habitual patterns of thinking and feeling. You're changing yourself. You're not changing the outside. The idea that, oh my gosh, it didn't work. If you are thinking that, that is the evidence that you have not changed your thinking and your feeling patterns. If you are wondering if it didn't work, if you are saying that it didn't work or why hasn't it worked yet, if you are checking, those things are the evidence that you are not actually doing the process that is required in order to change the outside. You are the creator of the outside. It is an automatic reflection. And so, in order to change the outside, you're changing yourself inside. You're changing your inside. So, when you approach manifesting, like I'm trying to change the outside, and is the outside changing? Oh, no, it didn't change. That's because you're not changing yourself. So, you can use the idea of what you want to access a feeling or thought pattern that you want to take on as your own, a new feeling and a new thought pattern and a new identity. This is not only a practice, it is a practice that must and will yield a brand new version of you if you are to have that which you want. If you do not shift, your reality will not shift. Even if you manifest your person, even if you manifest whatever it is that you wanted, you will lose it if you do not change your sense of identity, because your sense of identity is perpetuating whatever the crappy things are that you don't want. So you have to recognize that your identity needs to change and is subject to change. Everything about you, all of your characteristics and your interpretation of yourself, your interpretation of your history, the way that you feel and think about yourself and believe about yourself and your relationship to the world, your personality traits, everything about you is subject to change because your human bodysuit and your ego is just an avatar. And it's subject to change. You are eternal in nature. So that which you truly are cannot change. Everything else can and will. So this is the cool thing about manifesting, that you can manifest anything that you want. You have to make adjustments to yourself to make yourself into the version who can manifest that thing. When you are thinking to yourself and feeling to yourself that this is not working and all the reasons why, and it didn't work or whatever, that is not even you thinking that thought. That is a trick of the ego. The ego is the one who is thinking. The avatar version of you that you're walking around in, that is the one who is thinking these stories. The stories that I suck, the stories that I'm not good enough, the stories that I made a mistake or they're an asshole or they made a mistake or whatever the story is, the story that it didn't work or it's not working or this is hard or I feel like crap or this is not fair, whatever it is, those are not even you. Those stories are not you. So don't identify, pull back from the identification with all of those self-destructive stories. Okay, all of those stories that do not reflect the version of reality that you want and the version of you that you want to be in that reality. Do you really want to be a resentful, raving bitch with your specific person if they did come back today? If you're feeling so frustrated about everything that happened, or so needy, or so upset, or so fragile today about that situation with your person, or whatever the situation may be with whoever or whatever it is, if you're feeling fragile, if you're feeling negative feelings, if that's what you're practicing, you're going to fuck it up immediately, even if it did happen exactly the way that you want. And this happens a lot. So you have to change and become the version of you who interacts with what you desire, the version of you who is winning and expecting winning and interacting with winning, interacting with getting, interacting with the wish fulfilled, being satisfied, being confident, being happy and loving and bubbly, and whatever it is that represents you being joyful and happy and satisfied in your life. Getting the things that you want is just a normal thing for you. Like, that's where we're at in our mind. Like, we get what we want, and we look good doing it, and we're happy about it, and that's all we see. That's all we're interacting with. So can you make that shift into being someone who is expectant in a positive way? Not conditional. It needs to be this or else. Someone who is holding themselves and their thoughts and their vibration independently of what anything else is doing. Someone who is deciding deliberately where to put your mind, where to put your interpretation, where to put your story, and what to focus upon and when. Can you lead yourself into being that version of you? Now, it feels like the old version of you who is a loser, meaning like you're losing on getting what you want in reality. That's how you feel. That's your interpretation of life. Can you recognize that identity and that thought pattern and that feeling, that habitual feeling person is not you? Can you disidentify with all of those traits that are not helping you? Okay. The best thing that you can do is, like I said, continual reinforcement. But here's how you pick things. You can study everything under the sun and still make no progress. But here's the difference. You have to interact with a teaching because you are drawn to it, because you like it. This is the difference between studying everything under the sun, which is theoretically helpful, versus finding that one teacher, that one teaching, that one way, that one word or phrase or course or book or whatever it is that actually like flips the switch for you and makes it click in an undeniable way that results in you shifting and being able to finally navigate reality in such a way where you now know how to manifest what you want. It clicked. It worked. Only interacting with the teachings that make you feel something, you feel drawn to it, you're curious, like you're intrigued, you like it, something about it makes you feel something. Follow those teachers, follow those teachings, buy those books, buy those courses, watch those videos, the ones that make you feel lifted. Because it's not that you need more information on a mental level. You already, probably, if you're watching this video, you have done a lot of studying, you've done a lot of researching, you probably already know how to manifest. You probably already heard everything that you need to hear more than 100 times over. Applying these things and doing them has to do with an embodiment into a new identity, which translates into shifting into a different vibrational state, a new vibrational state. And you only accomplish that by following a teaching or a breadcrumb trail that actually shifts you vibrationally. That is how you know. Now, you have to approach a teaching. First, you have to do your part. Make yourself comfortable. Relax, do your part to get present, relax, get comfortable. Like I always say, get yourself a drink, snack, whatever it is, get your pen, paper, like relax here, prepare to relax and receive. Get yourself into a receptive mode. Not, oh my God, how long is this video? Let me get to like, can I just get to the end of it? Did I do it already? And then by the end of the video, like you didn't even pay good attention enough to really know like what the hell was said. And then how did it, you didn't pay enough good attention, engage with it deeply enough. You weren't present enough with it to allow it to change your life, like in the real 3D world. Like, what are you going to do now that you know whatever it is that you know, based on what you just saw, read, heard, whatever? What are you going to do now with that? If you come to the end of a video and you don't have like this understanding of this new way of feeling or being or doing, you've not engaged with the content enough. You've not been receptive enough. At the very least, you want to notice that you experienced a vibrational shift and then go from there. But what I'm saying is you need to be able to like the approach that you're taking enough to be able to engage with it on a vibrational level, not purely just a mental level where you're literally trying to like make yourself apply something and you're just trying too hard because you're going through the motions, but it's not causing you to feel any differently. When you are actually engaging with your end, feeling from your end, living from your end, you're doing visualizations from your end, you're meditating from your end, you're affirming from your end, you're scripting from your end. These things only work when you are coming from your end. Coming from your end, living from your end, that means that you are feeling something vibrationally. That is, you're vibrationally engaging with the thing, and there's something different about your vibration when you're engaging with this teaching or in this process in this way. If you are doing it from outside of alignment or outside of living from your end, it's called trying too hard, and then you'll get opposite results and you'll just be more frustrated. And every day you're going to be looking out the window like, where is he? And it is very, very easy for you to tell if you are doing this incorrectly because you're not going to feel good. You're going to feel frustrated. You're not going to feel more and more and more satisfied. Okay, so find something, find a teaching, find whatever that actually makes you feel a little more lifted, a little more understanding, a little more at ease, a little more like light bulb, a little more like closer. You're drawn to it closer. It feels better rather than just engaging with something on a mental level because you are desperate and you're just looking for an answer, right? So that's really important. And that's commensurate with following your joy. And that's commensurate with not trying too hard. Do make sure that you are changing yourself, your identity, and that your reality reflects that. So this is what I focus on in my community in Super Life is like helping you create a whole new identity that thinks differently and feels differently. And actually your routines are different. The way that you dress is different. The things that you do are different. Your priorities are different. You are behaving and acting completely differently. And it's because you are behaving and acting as the person who knows how to manifest your reality. You're confident about it, and you're collecting all these different characteristics, personality traits, and tools, reinforcement. Okay. So that's something that has to be done one way or another. You have to figure out how to shift your identity from, oh my God, this shit doesn't work and I'm a victim and like there's, this is such a bad situation, or I wish it was like that, or whatever it is, this disempowered state, to a state that is empowered. Surround yourself with community, with people who have your goals. Make your routine reflect your goals, the version of yourself that you are inside that relationship or inside that job or in that house or whatever it is that you want to manifest. Stop at nothing and recognize when the ego is telling you this shit's not working and it's not going to work. That shit is an ego fucking trap. Any thought that is limiting thought, that is an ego trap. So do whatever it takes to keep yourself aware and motivated and surrounded by community and people and information that is supporting your goals. So if you want to join me in Super Life and do that for yourself, that link is going to be in the description below. I'm going to put it in a pinned comment below. Also, I keep getting a lot of inquiries about one-on-one sessions. I don't typically offer them very much, but I do have an offer that I'm doing for tier 3. Tier 2 is already full. In tier 3, if you join tier 3, you're going to get everything in tier 1, which is all of the Avatar Unlocked series. You're going to get everything in tier 2, which that includes the mastermind. And then you're going to get 4 sessions a month with me, specifically one-on-one. We only have 4 spots available for that because that's just the limit on that particular thing. That is in the description. So make a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video, what you want me to cover next time. I promise you that if you don't take no for an answer, you will be able to manifest your world. Act like you believe it and you'll get it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tonight. I'm going live in Super Life and we're going to cover session 3 for Mystic this month. See ya.